Hey guys, so you probably noticed I didn't post a weekly update yesterday, which was Sunday, and it's because it has been a crazy week. It's just been wild. So it rained for 5 days, and it just soaked everything. And there wasn't a whole lot that we could really get done. And every time it wasn't raining, I was out there trying to, get stuff accomplished. And so finally, for the past 2 days, we've had sunshine and I've actually been able to see some growth. It kind of stunted everything. Like nothing was moving, nothing was growing. It was just soaking up the rain, soaking up all that goodness. And then finally, with 2 days of sunshine on Saturday and Sunday, started to see things grow, started to see, some vegetables show up and that kind of thing. So that's exciting. And it's also just been a crazy weekend. So on Saturday, I ended up taking my 7-year-old to the doctor because she had a pretty bad tick bite that we were watching, and that's something we don't want to play around with. So if your child or if you have some type of insect bite or animal bite and it doesn't look good, you need to go have it looked at. And we did, and she's been put on some pretty strong antibiotics, which were, turns out, really hard to find. We could not find it in our town. I ended up having to call around to several towns and see, and no one had the full prescription of it either once I finally found it. So I ended up having to go to another town and get half of it to at least get her started on it. And then Sunday, we just ended up having a little celebration for her because it ended up being her birthday week too. So just have family come over just to spend time with her and celebrate her. So it's just been a wild weekend and a wild week, and we did have some pretty cool stuff happen this week. So I decided I was just going to make a little video that kind of shows some of the growth here on the patio garden, because I know y'all are keeping up with that, and then some of the neat, just cool things that happened to us this week. Okay, so it's morning time. That's why the sun's doing this. Look, guys, I've got squash coming. Yeah, lots of squash coming. We'll be eating that soon. Through there, back there. You see that? The zucchini, it is slow, but I know how that works. And once it shows up, it's going to grow. We have tiny little beans showing up all through the bean plants. So that's neat. And don't worry about, remember, they're all really close together, but you don't have to worry about your pollinators. They're going to come in and pollinate it. So remember that pollinators aren't just bees. Flies pollinate, wasps pollinate, yellow jackets, little beetle bugs, like all those little flying insects are going in there and eating and watching, and they're going to move it around for you. And then the tomatoes, the cherry tomatoes are doing pretty good. They're growing. And I think the hummingbird is using it as I see a little kind of poopage there, and I think it's landing right there. And the beans are doing really well. They're starting to come across. So I've just been watching that, kind of working them across. Our carrots are doing awesome, and they've kind of overtaken the peppers, but the peppers have some flowers on them, so I know they're coming, and that's fine. More carrots. Then we have our cucumber. The cucumber is a straight 8. That's a cucumber that I actually planted for one of my husband's, I guess he is a friend. He's kind of befriended him through work, and he is 93 years old, and he wanted some straight 8 cucumbers. And so we have grown him some straight 8 cucumbers. And so he will get the first pickings off of that. And so I'm excited. There are some that are coming. So I know he's going to get some and stuff. And then the beans, they're coming across. It's kind of hard to see, but they are coming across. And everything's growing well. I'm trying to save some seed, as you see, in my crazy little bags. So, and see how that works. But the garden, it's still growing. The beans here are going, and I'm hoping they'll kind of like fall over. I think they will. So, of course, the squash is just going crazy. Got beans here. Flowers starting to show up. Little bean pods starting to show up. So that's good. The clematis is recovering, and as you can see, it's going up. My little wren family, they're staying quiet. I think they're up there. I think she's laying on them, on the eggs. And so, oh, and we've added to the herb garden here. And I want to show you something pretty cool. Alright, so here is my herb corner, and I kind of showed you that on the last tour, and I'm doing a video on it and how I have planned it out and stair-stepped it and how it works, and everything kind of works together. And I want to let y'all see this. I'm pretty excited about this. So this property is now recognized as a wildlife habitat, and I'm also going to do a video about that and have some other things here. It's not quite finished. I'm actually putting them in today, and kind of talk about how you can create your own wildlife habitat in your backyard, on your property, and the things that you have to qualify for that. So we're going to talk about that in a video that hopefully I can get done today. So check it out and we'll see. Alright, so that's what's happening on the porch. Oh no, I have to show you this. So this is a thing that we got done in between the rain, guys. So we have cleared out the space for the quail atrium, and we are going to build a huge cage from this end of the wall all the way to where that drain pipe is, so the end of the porch, and it's going to go all the way to the top of the porch. And this is where our quails are going to live. And so we have cleared out spaces. See if I can get in closer where that sun's just not beaming in on me. So, woo, that was tough. We have cleared out, alright, so we can see better here. We have cleared out spaces. We've cut back the juniper extremely. We've cleared out places for them to walk and hide and stay inside of the atrium, and so places where we can put food and water and a dust bath. So stay tuned for that, because that's going to be pretty cool. I haven't quite seen one like this, and so I'm interested in how it's going to turn out. I have been watching several people how they do their quail, and so I'm kind of taking tips from everybody and making it fit for our area. So if you watch the how to make a plan for your homestead or your garden, remember to research and remember to make it fit for you. It doesn't have to be exactly like what somebody else did. Use them as inspiration and just see what you have. Use the resources you already have. And we already had this resource, so that's what we're doing with it. Alright, so this is what's going on around the house, and next I'm just going to show you some of the crazy stuff that happened this week. One of our Cornish that her meat birds that ended up being kind of lame on one side, and we really think it's because the other chickens trampled her one night. And so she was operating fine with the other chickens, but we noticed she was getting kind of slower, and they were just kind of walking over, and it just wasn't okay for her. So we have moved her to our smaller tractor, and she's in here with her own food and her own water so that she can be safe and the other chickens don't bother her. So I'm sitting here and had to refill her bottle because somehow she knocked it over last night. So I've moved her cage so that she has a cleaner spot, and so every day we'll move her cage just like we do the other ones. We're out in the orchard, and we do have some apples. So apples have shown up on the trees. We weren't sure if the frost got them this year, but we do have some successful ones. And then I'm going to show you what's going down in the empty chicken coop. So we were looking at how we were going to do the fencing and the new chicken run, and I looked in here and I just thought the whole time it was weeds. I said, Carl, look, I've got a ton of tomato plants in here, and I think I've counted about 20. So they are in here, They're already flowering, and I'm just gonna let them go. So this is what happens when you feed your chickens your scraps. So these were either seeds that got lost in inside of the coop and inside of the wood chips that were here and the dirt, and so it's been cleared out, and then the chickens came in, and of course they were pooping on it, so it's got high nitrogen. So we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna let them go. If they get too really tall or gnarly, I may stick some sticks through the wire to kind of support them. But I figure I'll let nature take its course and see what happens. I have no clue what kind they are. There's no telling between all the ones that we grew last year. So this will be interesting to see what's growing in here. And I'm happy. Hey, I've got tomatoes running out of my ears. So this is just one of the crazy ways that nature has shown itself this week, and I'm excited about it. And the next two things that have just been kind of interesting this week are two animal encounters we had. And so one of them was outside while we were working, and the other one was actually in our house. Okay, see that little guy right there? I found him raking up the leaves. So we chopped up a pile of limbs, and I was raking up the leftovers and saw him move. But he's a beneficial snake. What were they called? Were they yellow ring snakes? I'll have to look it up again. I'll put it below the post. No, I don't want to catch it in the net. I don't want to hurt it.
I don't think you could if you wanted to.
So we have a hummingbird gotten stuck in the living room and can't seem to figure out how to get through the doors. So I was hoping she'd figure it out on her own. But it hasn't happened yet.
We need some birds to feed it.
We'll leave the doors open, and tons of hummingbirds have been feeding off of the native pink plant. And so when we opened the doors today, she came inside by accident, and I wish she could figure out to go down. She gets so close, and then
Birds.
I decided that maybe she's staying up high because we're all in the living room, and of course it wouldn't be very smart for the bird to go low where it might get caught. So we're gonna get out of the living room, and hopefully she's gonna fly lower and get out.